It's Tuesday. You know what that means. It's time for Ignition with the AEW Fan Hub podcast team, and this is our Ignition Revolution prediction show. We're going to talk about all the matches that have been made thus far for Ignition. I'm here with Barry and Chris and Sutton and Jess. We're going to have some fun tonight. We've already got somebody in the chat, and that's EPW show. And that brings me to the first thing that I wanted to talk about. And I think Conrad, from in the chat, welcome to join us, by the way. This is one of the things I want to talk about is our Discord. Our Discord, you can see the link on the screen. Discord.gg EPW Hub, that stands for Everything Pro Wrestling Hub. Conrad and Conrad's Discord and our Discord at AEW Fan Hub merged, and we've had a really strong and fun partnership. Join our Discord. We have, for AEW Revolution, we have prediction polls set up so you can go and vote for each of the matches. And then also, after the polls end, they'll end about 2 hours before the show, Revolution, that is, live chat during Revolution will be on the AEW Revolution channel in our Discord. So please come and join us. We have a lot of fun. The Discord is not only for AEW, it's for WWE, NXT, ROH, Joshi, everything. Just everything. Indies, history, whatever you want to talk about. But we're going to jump right in. Are you ready, guys?
Wait, give me a second. Okay,
Sure.
I'm ready.
Okay, now you're ready.
No.
Literally a second. Literally a second. We've got to talk about the AEW Revolution match card. We're going to make our predictions. We're not going to we're just going to talk about the matches. We're going to talk about some of the storylines, what kind of impact these matches could have on upcoming storylines in the future. Debuts, returns, the possibilities of such, whatever. But I think we have to start with Hangman Adam Page and MJF in a Texas death match. When is Hangman Adam Page not in a Texas death match? What are you guys thinking about this match?
Yes! Just imagine me in my Sicko's shirt, just with my palms against the window. Yes! Anybody who's...
Wait, what?
You know the Sickos. I get it, Jess. I know the Sickos reference.
Thank you, Barry. I thought everybody was familiar with that particular... Anyway. Anybody who
I'm just
is
trying to throw you
familiar...
off.
Anybody who's been familiar with me on this podcast for any length of time knows that I am a bona fide sicko. I live for absolute gratuitous gore in my wrestling, and this should not disappoint.
You think somebody's going to bleed? That's your prediction,
Maybe just a tad.
or is that more of a prayer?
I'm pretty sure it's just prophecy. Like, both of these guys are going to bleed. It's a Texas death match. When's the last time we saw a Texas death match where at least one of them wasn't bleeding?
Has WWE ever done a Texas death match? Because if they have, there's your answer.
In AEW. I mean,
WWE did a Texas death match in AEW. Okay.
no, I'm saying when.
It's very difficult logistics, but somehow they pulled it off.
Shut up, Pelton. You know what I was trying to say. You know what I was trying to say.
That's one of those things. Only
idea what you're trying
WWE
to
can produce a show like that.
There's going to be a lot of blood in this match, okay?
I'm worried about this match, man. The last death match, Texas death match. Isn't there a difference between death match and Texas death match? Do you have to have somebody with an accent for it to be a Texas death match? Is that all?
Texas death match.
Somebody's got to wear chaps.
Chaps? Is that okay? So Hanger's got that covered. So the
It's
last
different
we got
because of the sorry, it's different because of the 10-second count or submission stipulation.
okay,
I
good
just
details
wanted
to
to.
know to differentiate those two. The thing that concerns me is the last death match, pardon me, Texas death match held in Los Angeles kind of set a bar that I am uncomfortable seeing surpassed. I'm not a huge gore guy. I think I've said that before. I'm a less is more when it comes to blood, make it more impactful. And these are the types of matches where it's as impactful as it's going to get. But I remember sitting through the end of the last one with Hanger and Swerve, and I felt queasy. And I know how dedicated MJF is, and I know how dedicated Hanger is about just raising the bar whenever they get the chance, especially MJF. Like he has some statements to prove that these guys are going to push some stuff that I think it's going to make some folks uncomfortable. I don't think this will be your run of the mill death match, Texas death match. And I don't know. Is anybody else worried about how far they might push it? Like Sutton, what do you think?
I'm thinking they can't get much worse than what Mox
I
did
mean,
to
they're-
Darby's ear in that match. I
Ugh.
mean, that was probably one of the
We've had
most
a
grotesque things.
syringe. Like I just
Yeah, but when you because I was watching, was it Van Vliet's show when Darby was
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there
yeah.
talking about that. But he thought that for sure that Mox was going to pull his ear off. I mean, they I don't know what it is about AEW, but they want to go to the maximum they can get away with, and they do it
yeah.
all the time. So yeah, it's going to be. I tend not to like fully watch when it's going on. I just listen. If something like that's happening, it's getting to me, I'll just turn my head around, play with the cats or
Yeah.
something. But
Yeah.
this, you know what? To be quite honest with you, I don't think it's going to be that bad because it is MJF. I don't think MJF is going to be in a position where he wants to make it that
Yeah,
much
that's a good
damage
point.
because it is MJF and he's got to be who he is, and him getting tore up completely is not going to cover that.
So, something else though, something that triggered that, like his style of putting together matches is very old school when it comes to ring psychology. Like he will really work a body part and like that'll lead into the finish. I could see them building to like one big spot built off something MJF keeps going back to over and over and over. And like that's the big thing for him. If they were to play it a little safer, because I think that's a good point, Sutton. It's much different than his style, but like I saw the Texas dog collar match live. Or is it Texas dog collar or just dog collar?
It's
Whatever.
just
Now I'm
regular
throwing
dog
Texas.
collar.
Now I'm assigning Texas to stuff that it's not supposed to be assigned to.
Technically, it's a Poughkeepsie dog collar match.
There it is. I saw the Punk MJF match live. I was there at Revolution for that, and like literally one of the funniest things is MJF's mom, because we were sitting next to the hard cam, which is the family was. MJF's mom goes, "Hang on, I'll be right back. I have to go videotape my son bleeding." And like she walks down there with the phone, and like it was hilarious. But
That
like
is
that, he
awesome.
was gushing, like he didn't, and he'll blade, so or gig or whatever they like to call it. I don't know, man. I'm worried for these fellers.
Well, is anybody worried that Hangman Adam Page may lose this match? By the way, I want to say good
Yes.
evening to Matt Lopez. But anyway, he's in our chat. Welcome, Matt. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I mean, Hangman Adam Page loses this match and he can't compete for the AEW World Championship anymore. Although I kind of think that may happen because I think that in the future there may be a storyline where he's able to get that opportunity back.
I was thinking the same thing. If it's done via shenanigans, the shenanigans coming back to play to get him reinstated. But this is a tight tightrope, or a what is it? A tightrope to walk, or
Tightrope.
whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
tightrope to walk.
It's a tight rope and a tightrope. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
I actually see Hangman losing this. It sets up so many more possibilities for storylines down the road for him. I think it's way too early for MJF to lose his title already.
Yeah.
He just won it back, and I can't see him do. They've done that with the women's title in the past, and they've done it recently with the women's title after a short reign. But I just don't see MJF getting that back just to lose it right away to Hangman.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree.
look. Go ahead, Chris.
I think Hangman loses this too. I think, look, we all love Hangman. I think that's safe to say. But I think we can agree as a champion, his reigns have been not awful, not bad, but just not nearly as interesting as when he doesn't have the title. Hangman is a guy who doesn't need the belt to be the main character. And he's
Right.
better without it. He's better when he's chasing something. So you have him lose and then give him that storyline that, he's got to do something to ever get a chance again. You can have him you can have him stay out of, the Owen Hart tournament, but still he could still be in the Continental Classic. You can have him do all these other interesting things without the title because that's actually when he's at his best, when he has a mission.
Yeah,
Right.
but that takes
Yeah,
him out of
right.
the main event scene, though. Go ahead. I'm sorry,
No,
Colson.
he's more of a chaser, than he is. I mean, like I said, the only way that this works is if they do have some kind of idea in mind and let him get back. Look, there are extenuating circumstances here that may have something to do with the outcome of this match. Look, it's MJF who's the world champion. MJF may have a TV show, a stage play, a musical movie going on that he's going to have to drop the title. We don't know. He may drop the title of Revolution and disappear for about 2 or 3 months again. I don't know. As far as Hangman goes, look, one thing we have to keep in mind is that Hangman was, up until last week, the AEW Trios champion with Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight. Well, that's no longer the case. And Kevin Knight, we're going to be talking about this in a little bit. Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey are going after the Trios Championship with Mystico as their partner. Okay, so my point here is it may not make any sense to have Hangman drop that Trios title and not become the world champion again. And then you make a big deal out of the championship match for Revolution. So not Revolution, for Double or Nothing, which is the next pay-per-view, I believe. But look, we got a lot to talk about, so I hate to do this to you guys, but we do need to move on, or else this show is going to last about 3.5 hours.
As
So
Shivani said, we got to go. We're out of time.
we were out of time. All right, so here we go. The next match that we're going to talk about is the AEW Women's World Championship. Chris Statlander trying to take her title back from Tekla. Tekla has only had, what has she had? One title defense since she won it against Statlander on Dynamite a few weeks ago?
I think so. And even that, I can't remember if it was a defense or if it was an eliminator match.
I don't remember.
Oh, it was a defense. Thunder Rosa. That's right.
That's right. It was a defense. That's true. So anyway, for the people that are not watching us live on YouTube or X, we have part on each of our match cards here. We do have a little bit of insights into it. This is the third 1-versus-1 encounter between Tekla and Chris Statlander, with each scoring a win. Tekla has 7 wins in her 10 previous matches. And what I mean by that is, of course, we've had things like Blood and Guts. There's been we've talked about it, numerous multi-women matches that Tekla has participated in with Chris Statlander on the other side. And by and large, Tekla's had a lot of success against Chris Statlander in these matches and the one-on-one matches. So what are you guys thinking about AEW Revolution's Women's World Championship match?
It should be awesome, but I don't see Tekla losing here. She literally just won it. It would be a shame to have her reign be so short after me actually wanting to see her win for quite some time. If she lost this soon, it'd be a bummer.
Jess, let me go to you with a question here. I believe it was you that said when Chris Statlander was champion that her reign really wasn't doing it for you. Was that correct?
Yeah,
I believe that was you that said that. Yeah.
That was me.
Do you think that Tekla's reign has been more interesting so far, or can be more interesting in the future than Statlander's reign.
Yeah, I believe so. In the classic wrestling sense, that's just what heels are like. Heels are better champions, faces are better chasers for the most part. Uh, Somebody just said the same thing about Hangman.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the money's in the chase, as they say. You know.
All right, anybody else have thoughts about this match?
Uh, you know what? I'm just going to echo just that should be an awesome match. Tekla should retain. These two have good chemistry. Really looking forward to it.
I want
See,
to
my
know
pro-
what Sutton thinks because
Yeah, I was
you're
just
the
getting ready to
biggest
say,
Chris fan. Yeah, there you go. There
my
he is.
my problem with this is in the overall picture, Statlander's getting treated like shit. Her reign wasn't that great because they didn't put her in matches that she could do anything in. She's been given like it started when Mercedes came in and they put her up against Mercedes and they made her look weak. Then every match she had, she looked weak in all of her matches until she won the title, and then they still made her look weak. I disagree. I don't think I don't think Tekla should have won the title already. There was no need for her to win the title. There's so many other things that the what are they called? I can't remember what they're called. They don't wrestle as a team anymore, really. But with her and with Sky Blue and with that group there, they could be so much better. And I don't know. Just to me, it seems like Statlander's been getting made to look extremely weak all the time. That's just the way I see it. I'm hoping the Statlander wins it. Is it the 2 out of 3 falls or is it just a regular match?
It is a 2 out of 3 falls.
Okay. I'm
Triangle
figuring. I figured Tekla will win the first one, Statlander will win the last one, or the second one, and then they'll have a half an hour, 45-minute blowout for the third one. That's just how I see it going down.
I don't understand why they do 2 out of 3 falls. Just make it 1 fall. You know that one's going to win one, and then somebody else, the other one is going to win the second one anyway. It happens every single time. Why do this? It doesn't add anything at all to the match to me.
I was actually thinking about this the other day when they announced that. I think it was the day after last week. I was like, they talk about this, and through all the time in history that I can ever remember there being 2 out of 3 matches, I can maybe remember 1 or 2 matches that ended in 2 falls.
I want to say there was a match with Dolph Ziggler that did.
Yeah, and that's one of the only ones that I could think of. And I think there was a couple in WCW back in the day that were the same way. They were real quick.
But those were those AEW matches? No. AEW is never. Remember when we had what was it, Death Triangle against the Elite? Was it a trios best of 7?
Best of 7,
but,
yeah.
But for the first match, you knew it was going 7. So what was the point of even doing it? Seriously,
because the matches were amazing. It adds 2 out of 3 falls can be a lot of fun too. Like you could have someone score a really quick win in the first fall, or you could have a heel get themselves disqualified just so they can beat them down because it's like, okay, I'm going to beat them so much and take these last 2.
What I think is going to happen, and I'm not going to say who I think is going to do what to who, but I think one of the wrestlers is going to get, in kayfabe, of course, injured very early in the match and is going to eat a pin and then have to struggle to prove themselves. It would probably mean more to Tekla to be able to be the one that comes back from being devastated, because it would cement her as somebody that, that could overcome and you just can't take lightly. And frankly, somebody on the AEW Fan Hub subreddit posted about a week ago that they don't trust Chris Statlander, meaning that they think that she's going to be heel again. So, but anyway, Barry, we haven't heard from you. So, what are your thoughts?
I'm agreeing with you. The 2 out of 3 can be used to whip up sympathy if done right, and also to help explain or keep somebody who's going to lose strong, specifically the type of scenario you brought up there, Kelson. Because I've been like, how do they? I think Tekla needs to retain here. this giving her the belt here is about really juicing the women's title scene because I think it's been struggling for some reason. Willow having the TBS belt moves her out. Tony's been doing her thing in the tag division. Jamie's been doing her thing in the tag division. Thunder Rosa has been on TV, but she's, we all see she's not the Thunder Rosa of old. It's going to take, reps to get her back. Giving Thekla the belt here helps bring in a new body officially into the women's division, push the way they need. And I think she needs to retain here. But I was like, Chris can't eat another loss. I think they need to keep her strong. This is a lot about helping really get her established in that main event scene too. And she's got some work to do with her character. So to your point, Kelson, I actually think the key here is to keep Tekla really strong as a monster because she's so little. Have her hurt Chris. Like she's the one who injures Chris, and Chris struggles to get that win and hurt. And we can just tell like she just doesn't have enough. She's too badly injured to get that second one, and Tekla can be completely ruthless and really keep Chris strong as a sympathetic babyface coming out with a loss. In a way, a straight 1v1 match can't build some of that extra sympathy. I could be wrong, but that's kind of the approach I'm thinking they'll take.
Very good. Well, let's move on because we've got the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The series is tied at 3 apiece between the Young Bucks and FTR. The Young Bucks have won the last 2 meetings with FTR. What are your thoughts about this match, guys?
This one I see the most interesting portion of the show being. I think that FTR is going to find some competitors they didn't expect to come back in with Christian and Edge coming back. I think they're going to come back. Well, Edge. He's Edge. He's no longer. He's my brain's in that spot right now. So yeah, but I see Christian and them coming back, getting interference in this match, costing FTR the title and giving the Young Bucks their 4th title reign.
I did not think of that. That would be so much fun.
They haven't been in there for how long?
FTR has 4 title reigns, right?
Yeah, they're tied at 4.
So this would be tied. They would be tied at 4 because Bucks have only got 3, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Dang it, son. Now that's what I want to happen. Now I'm going to be upset if that doesn't happen. You put it into my head. If Tony Khan doesn't do it, he's the worst booker in the world.
How long has Cope and Christian been gone?
I mean, we know they're building to that.
That was purely a joke. I'm not crazy.
Do you think they'll do it here though, Sutton, and they won't hold off? Because like that's something I see for like all that blow off. Maybe it's a second in the series or a third, but I see the blow off match for that at All In. Like I think
I think they're going to set them up for this. I think they're going to bring them back now, and then they're going to build that up from now until All In, and then FTR versus Cope and Christian at All In. Now, the only thing that I could be wrong about
the belt there, though, Sutton. Like,
see, that was I was just going to say. Yeah. I think that if they come out, they might not come out till the match is over, but I think they're going to get involved somehow in this match. And you're right; they could keep the titles on them until All In, and that's when Cope and Christian get their final title run.
Like, if I'm booking this, I think I have FTR go over. Bucks don't need the belts. You can keep in the scene. They're better, and frankly, right now, highlighting other people because they just raise everybody up in the matches they're in with. But I'm with you. So I would have FTR go over. At the very end, there's something dastardly. They're beating down the Bucks, bad heel heat moment. And then the save is Cope and Christian with the big return, huge pop. And then the program through All In is Cope and Christian getting the wins, and then some stipulation or some way FTR keeps thwarting them from getting that title shot. So really give them a chase where they have to keep going through these obstacles leading up to All In. But I think you're sniffing up something pretty good. It's time for Cope and Christian to come back. And if they're going to do it, now's as good a time as any.
I mean, do you just go with if you do that story, do you just go with the obvious, we'll put our careers on the line at All In?
Oh, you could if you don't have the belt.
Well, I'm going to be a little bit of a party pooper here because I absolutely do not want to see Cope and Christian anywhere near this match. They're not needed in this match. They're not needed in this title run. They should be just the non-title people putting people over at this point, and that's that. But you know who should get involved with this match,
Mason
and they
Mansoor.
are,
No?
and they
Oh.
absolutely will be there. We know this because they've said it. I believe that Mr. and Mrs. Jackson will hit FTR with a TK driver, and the Young Bucks will win this match.
Papa Buck.
Papa Buck is gonna.
Yeah,
and
that's
Mama,
It is
Papa
LA.
Buck is gonna knock.
like
Papa
like
Buck
I
is
said.
gonna hit one of FTR, and Mama Buck is gonna knock out Stokely.
Mama Buck is coming off the top rope.
Can't-
Mark my words. If I
their
am
brother
not
wrestle, or didn't
if
he
I
wrestle?
am not
Dude,
right, if I am not
your brother.
right, if I am not right, let lightning strike everybody in this podcast except for me dead.
Hey, let's not talk about lightning.
Whoa,
strikes, guys.
whoa,
Oh.
I
Too
think
soon.
I think
Too
I
soon,
think if
Carlson.
Kelson's
Too soon
wrong,
for lightning strike.
Too soon,
Too
Barry.
soon.
I am so
Yeah, too
sorry.
soon,
How
Barry.
how insensitive.
I think
For-
I think if
For
I think
those
if Kelson's wrong.
Yeah, for those who don't know, my house was struck by lightning last May and burned to the ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Too soon.
I think
It's been
I think
almost
if you're
a
wrong,
year.
Kelson,
It hasn't
should have
even been a
Barry.
year, Kelson.
I think if Kelson's wrong, he should have to go to the next show in his area and propose to Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, I think that's
No, it's not proposed.
What?
He just has to hold a sign saying,
Propose
Eddie
that he learn how to
Kingston
wrestle?
is my daddy.
Eddie Kingston's my favorite wrestler. That's what he is.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has to hold that sign.
I do love Eddie Kingston. But
But that was my whole point about this match. This match is, to me, the biggest open-ended match that could happen. So many different things could happen in
Could
this.
go either way. Yeah.
You could have the Callis family getting involved because you could have their two big guys that are in that come in and affect it. There's just so many tag teams. You literally, if you put this at the end of the show, you could have every tag team in AEW be involved in the end of this match if you wanted
It'd be
to.
a very NWO thing to do.
But it would be
Yeah,
awesome.
I don't think you need too many. I think, if you don't have Cope and Christian, I do think at least let Papa Buck knock out Stokely. Like, at least do that.
Didn't their brother wrestle, or hasn't he
He
a
did.
little bit? Yeah.
He
So
did,
he could
yeah.
take some bumps and do something. Yeah.
Sure, he could. But yeah, I mean, maybe he's been training with Darby Allin. That's all for all we know. But anyway, let's move on because we've got another championship match. There's got a couple more championship matches on this card. So let's talk about the AEW Continental Championship. Jon Moxley taking on Konosuke Takeshita. Jon Moxley holds the series lead with 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. And of course, that draw just happened leading up to this match. What are you guys' thoughts on the AEW Continental Championship? Does Jon Moxley lose the championship to Konosuke Takeshita?
Yes, absolutely.
Uh,
Takeshita wins, and on Dynamite, he walks right up to Okada and puts it in his face.
I was gonna say my brain says Takeshita, my heart says Mox. Mox is my favorite. He's been my favorite for a long time. I don't want to see him lose, but I know it's best for everyone if Takeshita wins because you can get that.
I think there's some opportunities to do some storytelling here for Takeshita's face turn, and I would not be shocked if Mox retains because Okada cost Takeshita the belt, and I actually could see the story playing over the next couple of weeks because of the Callis family feud. Mox actually being responsible for getting Takeshita to turn, and in doing so gives him another title shot down the line where he wins and then is in his corner to help him beat Okada. But that's some longer term booking it all in. But I
I
wouldn't
like
jump
that.
on the bandwagon. I don't know necessarily if this is the match. You can do this and have a rematch that makes a lot of sense and furthers his face turn if you play this right. I wouldn't be shocked if Take just wins outright, but I think they can get some mileage here and maybe run this back a double or nothing with a bigger moment.
Barry,
Remember that
Barry, I have to say that I don't like anything you just said.
Oh,
I
it's
really
okay.
don't.
There's no wrong answers here. We have very different tastes.
I love what you just said. Very well
Oh,
put.
okay. Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah, you gotta let me. You gotta give me my moment.
That's very
here.
sweet. I needed that. I've had a rough day at work, man. Thanks.
Well, I had making up for the lightning strike into your house thing.
That's the
You
guy.
know,
I
you
love.
could have not said that and brought it up again.
Yeah,
That's
whoops,
the
I
man I
did it
know and
again.
love. There he is.
Wow.
I think both of you are forgetting one very important thing. Continental rules. Okada can't interfere in this match.
You know, I hate to stop you there, buddy, but he can, because it just takes it. They've done it before. You've had people come out and do one of those sneaky. Okada's done it, I believe, in matches that had to do with the Continental title. You know, it's not that they're not supposed to be involved. Yes, that's the rule, and I agree with you. That is one of the big things that can keep that from happening. But Okada is a sneaky little prick. And if he wants to get involved in it, he's going to find a way, come out from under the ring, come out from the side while the referee is tangled up with Moxley, and something's going to happen. If they want to get Okada to interfere, they will.
Well, I'm going to make Jess's day.
Oh boy,
Jess, I'm going to make your day.
No,
I'm going to say this to Barry's point. And what Sutton and Chris were just saying, if Takeshita gets an advantage, clear advantage over Moxley, and is about to win, and Okada comes out, that gets Takeshita disqualified.
well, it's a no DQ. It's not Takeshita. It'd be a no DQ, I think.
It would disqualify the match, basically.
Right? Yeah. To Chris's point, it would prevent him from winning. Yeah.
Right. They would prevent the match from going forward, basically, and there you go. There's the angst. There's the story right there.
Except that if you interfere and cause a disqualification, you are fired.
What? That's only in the tournament.
That's
no, I don't think so. He's right. If you interfered anything in the match, these matches are nobody.
There's been one interference before, and it got huge.
And because the ref was knocked out,
the referee has to see it. It's like everything else in kayfabe.
Oh, come on.
The referee has to see it.
Sutton, honestly, the referee has to see it. There's zero chance of the referee seeing anything.
Oh, I know that, and you know that, but you know that's the way it works.
Yeah. And Tony Khan, I love Tony Khan almost as much as I love Eddie Kingston, but he doesn't have the balls to fire Okada. Come on.
Well, and if he comes out and interferes, it's going to be where he gets away with it. We know that because they're setting this up for what they're setting it up for. But
he will come out where if Okada does this, he'll come out. The lights will go out. They'll come back on, and Okada's going to be wearing a black hoodie with a, Guy Fawkes mask or something like that. And everybody knows it's Okada except for Tony Khan and the referees and anybody who's anybody in AEW.
All right, there,
Hunter. You don't even need to do it that way. You can just have the lights go out, and when they come back on, Mox is hurt, or no, Takeshita's laid out. You don't even need to see who see it, and then you cut back, and it's we see Okada's the one who flipped the switch or flipped the breaker, and he's like, "Oh,
I'm so sorry."
Yeah, you don't even need that's the thing. He doesn't even have to be the guy that does it. There's all sorts of ways you can do this.
I pressed the wrong button.
I'm so sorry.
Now, do I think the fans would not revolt if that's the finish?
Oh God,
no, I think that would be some bad heat. But
this week in unintentional racism, come on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This really does have the opportunity to have a lot of stuff going on. I really don't know who's going to win this match in my mind. I haven't formulated a prediction on this. The only thing I do think, and I agree with everybody here, and nobody really said Takeshita is going to win or Moxley's going to win. Everybody has said, okay, so Chris said it, but pretty much everybody else is like, something's going to go down.
Yeah. I stand by Takeshita winning. I will be rooting for him no matter what. I mean, these guys have already had 2 really great matches just in the last, 5 months, less than that. And this one with the no time limit is going to be freaking insane.
All right, then. Well, let's move on because we have one last championship match to talk about at AEW Revolution, and that is the Trios tournament. This is the first defense of the Trios titles for the Don Callis family. Mark Davis, Kazuchika Okada, and Kyle Fletcher. Against Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, and for some reason Mystico. I don't know where that came from. I'm not complaining about it.
Hangman called in a favor.
That's Hanger's Mexican friend. He made
I guess,
show for
but
Grand
Yeah,
Slam.
It's
you got the Mystic Jet Speed, man.
Yeah.
I will say this, I have no interest in this match. I have no interest in the Trios titles. I have no interest in this match. I really don't. So what do you guys think?
This is how you get Okada and Fletcher on the pay-per-view match. That's all this is, Kelson. I'm with you. This is totally a pre-show match or maybe a main event of Collision type of thing. I don't understand why
It's a Royal Rampage match. Look, let me just ask this flat out. Would you rather see a match with Kyle Fletcher against somebody and get Kazuchika Okada against somebody?
Yeah, I'd like
Other
to see
than
Kyle
this-
Fletcher and Mystico or Okada versus Kevin Knight. Like they're in this match.
Exactly.
Yes,
This match is a throwaway match. This is one of those come down matches to me.
But now that the option is on the table, I really want to see Jet Set Mystico.
So hey, I want to touch base because I'm also wondering too, Kelson, if this is on the pay-per-view for a different reason. So I think a lot of people think, myself included, that they're planting the seeds for Kevin Knight to turn. And I think that may happen at the pay-per-view if Bailey loses on Dynamite and then is the one that eats the pin as well at the pay-per-view. I can see Swerve kind of getting in Kevin's ear. And maybe that's the point of this. So you get that moment at the pay-per-view with Knight's big turn.
I think you're exactly right. I think it's to help plant those seeds. And you know what? Yes, it would be. I would rather have Okada and Fletcher defending their titles for sure. But I love all 6 guys in this match. It will be
they're
a
fun.
fun, entertaining match. And yeah, you have it to set the seeds. I get it. You don't want to overload the card with matches. So this way you still get your guys on the card. You have a good match and you can build stories.
Yeah.
Barry,
meaningless
I did
Yes,
actually. I was gonna say I did sigh in relief when you said Swerve because I was about to say, like, Barry, I usually love your ideas, but if Kevin Knight joins the Don Callis family, I'm throwing something through my TV.
No, I totally expect Kevin to be in whatever thing, the new embassy. I think that's where it's putting together. That's where I think Knight ends up.
No more members of the Callis family, please.
Yeah.
Less members of the Callis family.
Oh, no, I love the Callis family, man.
It's too big,
I personally
in my
don't want
opinion.
to
Way
see
too big.
I don't want to see Kevin Knight turn. I really don't.
Me neither.
Too many heels already.
That's exactly why, Sutton. There's too many heels already, and even if somebody else were to turn face, there's just too much face and heel turns going on. Swerve just turned. Tommaso Ciampa just turned. What are we doing here?
Yeah, Tommaso's been here, what, a month? He's been here a month and turned already?
I mean, Ciampa looks like a heel, but he was a really sweet face. He really was for that 3 weeks that he was. He was totally believable.
He was just obsessed with the belt. Like, I didn't take
Yeah,
him
like,
there or
You
another.
never
Like,
saw him in NXT, did you?
Who, me?
No. Yeah, did you ever see him in NXT?
Yeah,
You
I've
have
seen
no-
him as a babyface and a heel.
You know
I
about
did,
him and his little belt affection, his belt
Goldie.
obsession. Yeah. That was tame
Totally.
compared to what he did
Yeah.
in NXT.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord, man.
Yeah, I think he had kind of just the natural people are going to pop for him, and I think it was smart to give folks that moment and then do what you were going to do with them, which is have him be a heel. I think he's better as a heel, but I agree, Kelson too, or whoever said too many heels. I think there's been a lot of turns. I think that's what might happen.
Yeah,
with
it was
Lights
Sutton that said it.
and Sutton. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, look, that was the last of the title matches.
I've got to correct you.
What?
There is one other title match. The national title. 21-man Battle Royal.
Well, that's 0 hour. We're not making predictions on that. I didn't even make a graphic on that.
Fair enough.
That to me, the national title is not a title.
yeah. You don't try to show up the host on his own show, Chris. Come on.
I will do what I want. You can't fire me. You don't pay me.
That's a good point. Well, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I find the non-title matches on this show to be every bit as intriguing. I'm not saying better, but they are every bit as intriguing as the title matches to some extent. For example, the first one we're going to talk about are the most dangerous men in AEW. Swerve Strickland against Brody King. Now, back in 2022, there was a Royal Rampage match that had Brody King and Swerve Strickland in it. Brody King won that match. They've never faced each other one-on-one as far as I can recall in AEW before. So this is going to be an interesting match. I have my I have something. This is one of those matches where I have a strange prediction, but I want to hear from everybody else first. And if somebody says what my strange prediction is, I swear to you, I'm coming to your house and I'm going to, I'll probably just cry on your doorstep saying you stole my prediction. Go ahead.
You gonna bring snacks?
What do you guys think?
I'm really interested in what Jess thinks because I like how she talks about Brody.
Aw, thank you. Brody, my beloved. F Ice.
I thought Moxley was your beloved.
Yeah.
I have many-
I thought I was your beloved.
Come on, lady.
He has 17 of them, okay? Let it go.
Yes, let a girl have a harem. Jeez.
Yeah.
It's 2026. Get with the program. No, I'm looking forward to this one. Brody is a guy who's massively grown on me like a little bit every day since he debuted. I'm actually kind of bummed he didn't win the title from MJF, who is also my scumbag beloved. But no, Swerve is
Quite
great.
the harem you got going on there.
I know it's my harem knows no bounds.
Variety is the spice of life, Jess.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Heel Swerve is absolutely dangerous. He says it himself. I am kind of tickled at a good old Nada returning to his heel roots too. I was almost afraid that a heel turn from Swerve would mean ditching Nada. But nope, Nada's heel too. This should be very fun. I can't really clock a winner though. I'm like, because there's up and down sides to both, honestly. Like, I want Brody to keep his momentum going, but you also don't want to cut Swerve off at the knees this soon. I don't know.
I think I know where Kelson's going with this. Maybe.
Ooh.
I can't help it. This is just how I see it happening. If like he said earlier, Swerve was putting together a new group, who better to be one of his guys than Brody King? I think Swerve beats him. I think after the match, they shake hands and Swerve whispers something in his ear, and he gets recruited to the Swerve's new crew.
So you're saying Strickland's going to lean over and say, "Will you go to prom with me?" And they're going to skip out of the ring down the stage.
No, it's not going to be like that.
They should kiss.
That would only be if Eddie Kingston was in the match. No, it's going to be something.
Sutton, didn't you just say we have too many heels?
You know what? Brody's a borderline guy, He's not a
No,
face. He's not a
He
heel.
hasn't been borderline for months. He's been a legit babyface since the Brodino
Yeah,
run. Come on, man.
And look, why would he?
Even when he was in House of Black, Brody King was more of a baby face than he was a heel.
Yeah.
Well,
He is-
it's like
Why
anything
the
else.
hell would
You can
Brody
have
King
people
go with Swerve? I'm sorry,
All right,
because
Sutton,
they're
lay it out.
because they're the most dangerous guys in AEW. That's why you want to. If you're Swerve Strickland, you're putting together a new crew. Would not one of the guys you want is somebody that is in the same vein as you are? I mean, think about it. Think about it. You got Swerve Strickland and Brody King, the biggest, baddest dude in AEW on your team. You add the possibility of putting in Kevin Knight. You're starting to put together one hell of a team. If that's what he's doing.
Yeah, but you're turning babyfaces heel like crazy. I was like, who are they
They're
going to
going to do
wrestle?
it anyway. It's not that I
So-
want them to be heel. They're
so-
turning them that way anyway.
Brody's in a really interesting point right now because they have elevated him, and I'm really worried Tony's going to do what he's done in the past, which is back off on people who are in the middle of a push that you need to see through and see if they can do it. I think Brody's ready for the main event scene. His promos, he has clearly been working on. The last several times he's been in the ring, he is much more natural on the mic. His voice doesn't crack at all. He doesn't skip. Like, he is polished, and he's been doing really good. If you don't play this right, you can ruin a lot of that momentum. And I'm trying to think, I think Swerve goes over here, but I was trying to think, how do you do this? And I'm like, well, you could do like some kind of no DQ where they both get a count out at the end because they're exhausted. But like Sutton, I think you may be onto something from a long-term storytelling perspective. You have these guys, go the distance. Swerve gets the win in the end, but out of mutual respect of two guys who are more than willing to go ultra violent, they do the shake, and he says something to him. Doesn't need to be something that we find out the next day or the next week, but people want to know what that is. And Brody's conflicted about it, but Swerve tells him, I'm putting together a team to take over, and you're the kind of person that I want riding shotgun with me. And you can play this long term if you want to keep pushing Brody where, yeah, he joins the embassy. He's in it, man. Maybe he gets a mid-card belt. Like, he's living the fruits of that labor, but he's not comfortable with some of the ways they're going. He's still friends with Bandito. Maybe you work him in where he's got to do something nasty or Swerve hurts Bandito. So you can work him into that group, keeping him a baby face, and work him out and make him even more sympathetic and continue that push on. So there's some options here, but I think Swerve goes over, but I don't know how you do it while keeping Brody strong too.
You know what?
You have
I was gonna say, you just reminded me of something listening to you.
Mm.
The face in the heel group who the fans love and has a friend on the outside. You're giving me major Sami Zayn in the Bloodline vibes.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
Yep, that's a positive because like
You got-
that was the best part of the Bloodline story
Takeshi
in my
and Don
opinion.
Callis is a face right now. Like,
Mhm.
it works. Go now, Kelson. Lay it out here, man. No pressure.
Well, I want
What's
to give
your-
I
what's
wanted to
your big
give
idea?
I want to give Chris an opportunity.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. My bad. I'm blabbing.
I was going to say, I guess I feel the obvious deal if you want to keep Brody strong and have Swerve go over is you have whatever tag team he's bringing into the embassy help him out. Like, because we know Swerve ain't afraid to fight dirty and fight cheap. So, it could easily be a deal. Brody's about to win. They come in, Swerve takes advantage, steals the win from him.
Well, my thoughts revolve around something that Swerve Strickland said very recently. And that was he brought up somebody that he respects, said he couldn't wait to like get into the ring with him, and just looks forward to having him in the ring. And that is somebody that I really, really hope, and I think it's a pipe dream, but I really hope that he does return at AEW Revolution. But I'm thinking it may be double or nothing. It may be one of those devil kind of things going on until then. But one of the things that makes Brody King one of the most dangerous men in AEW has been in the past Buddy Matthews.
Yeah, I saw
And
that
I
interview too.
Buddy.
and I think that's where, let me rephrase that. It's not that I think that's where it's going. I really, really hope that that's where this is going.
Yeah, as soon as
Because
you mentioned that, I remembered that interview. That's a good call, Kelson.
if you think about Brody King, who is one of those guys that can be mean, but he's a teddy bitch kind of guy as well. I mean, that's the only way I can put it. Bandito is an excellent wrestler, and he can put on the hurt, but he's a good guy. Who do you need in this group? You need somebody like Buddy Matthews, who just wants to hurt people. Sorry, Bobby Lashley and MVP and Shelton Benjamin, but when it comes to hurting people, Buddy Matthews is my guy. I'm sorry, that's just the way I feel.
I like that.
All
I
right,
kind of thought
we
you were
got-
gonna. I thought you were gonna say Keith Lee.
I don't want to get my hopes up about. I adore Keith Lee. I do, but I'm more concerned for Keith Lee's health than anything. If he's ready and he gets into the AEW again, I'm all for it. I just don't see it happening that soon. But man, it would be something if it did. Let's move on. We've got 2 more matches on the main card to talk about. Tony Storm and Marina Shafir. I don't really quite know what to make of this match. They've faced each other 2 times previously, one in June of 2022 and one earlier this year on January 7th. Tony Storm won both of those matches. Tony Storm and Marina Shafir, guys, what are your thoughts?
I hope Tony Storm walks in, knocks her out with one punch, pins her.
Okay, fair enough.
I actually like Marina. I do. I think she's a badass. It would make sense to have her wins, and she's lost her last 2 against Tony, but I can't bet against my celluloid goddess. I cannot ignore the draw of the slut you can't rebut. I'm
The horror you can't ignore.
indeed.
The tramp who is no longer the champ.
Oh, there it is.
Wow.
Well,
Tony, I'm calling Tony. I'm calling Tony.
I've had a lot of
We
words.
were all waiting.
I've had a lot of words here. Do you think Marina Shafir deserves, in any way, shape, or form, to walk away from this match as the winner and a clean win?
Hell
I
no.
certainly do not.
No.
If the purpose of this match is for Tony Storm to put Marina Shafir over, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Because you don't knock down Tony Storm to put Marina Shafir over, who hasn't really done anything yet. I'm sorry. She's not impressed me. I'm not saying she's awful. I mean, she's much better than Eddie Kingston, but she's just not there yet.
I
don't
don't
How
think.
could she?
I don't think.
How
there's
could
a
she
risk.
get there?
Not by going over Tony Storm. Marina's not to me.
You've got I mean, you've got, I don't know. You've got Sky Blue, Julia Hart, Queen Aminata, Hyan, Maya World. You've got Zeta Steel.
Yeah.
You've got everybody in this roster. You don't put your top dog and have Marina Shafir, who has done nothing in AEW, and knock the top dog down. I am sorry.
Yeah.
That is not smart.
And for me, Marina is not in her element in an AEW ring. She might be a good in the MMA or whatever she's competed in before. She just is. She's the wrong. Honestly, to me, if she was fighting with the males, kind of like what China used to do, it would be more for her and put her over more if she fought the guys than the women, because she just
that's really what she's been doing. That's
Yeah.
how she kind of got
Right.
to where she is.
I think Kelson's right. Like Marina hasn't done enough does anybody think Tony doesn't win here? I think it's pretty clear she's going to win.
I
And it's
actually
for
think Marina's going to win
You do.
because I think maybe I'm old school, but I've been watching wrestling for a long time, and there is always something in a pay-per-view, PLE, whatever it is, that you just kind of leave and you go, why did they do that? And this is that one for me. This is the one where I think Marina's going to win, and it doesn't do anything for Tony at all. And frankly, it doesn't do anything for Marina because it's preposterous to think that would happen.
I really like Marina, and I think they've finally kind of cracked how to use her appropriately. I think this year, especially in the Death Riders, I've had a lot of fun watching her. She is strongest in tag matches and mixed matches. As a singles competitor, just as a performer, she just has limitations. But from a character, there's ways to work around that, and I really do enjoy her on TV.
Agreed.
I don't think a lengthy match with Tony is I think this is going to be a 10-12 minute match total. I think they'll go back and forth. I think this is about getting Marina a little bit of a rub on a pay-per-view. But to your point, Kelson, I don't think she's done nearly enough. Really to be in the match. Like I get it because they've been feuding and stuff. So I get it. I think this could have been a main event for Collision or Dynamite or a pre-show, but I don't see any reason for Tony to lose here.
You don't put Tony in a pre-show. And as far as you thinking that this is going to go to a 12-minute match, what are you going to do? Take a 5-minute nap in the middle of the match? There's no way this is going 12 minutes. It's going 6 or 7 tops.
10 to 12 is just kind of like standard pay-per-view length. That's why I picked that. I could be very short. I agree. I wouldn't be shocked if it's like 6 or 7.
There's nothing wrong with having a shorter match and giving a match like Moxley Takeshita or Texas Death.
Well,
those extra 5.
The other thing is you can work around a performer's limitations. Like Marina's a great character, and they've really figured out how to use her effectively on TV. Like when she does arm bars to reverse a choke slam, I'm on TV cheering when she pulled that. Like great stuff. And a shorter match allows you to work around those types of limitations too, the way that a longer match would expose some of that, and you can make it a lot better.
I can see a scenario where Marina wins when if the Megasis, and is it Lena Cross? Is that her name, or
Lena Cross?
Her new partner.
Yeah,
I see those two coming out and just beat the living crap out of Tony.
Everyone banned from
Everyone's banned.
ringside.
Oh, they're banned.
Yeah,
Yes.
everybody.
It says real big letters on the graphic.
But
I can't read the
post match, if Marina lost, I could see them coming to do a beatdown and then somebody making the save, and there's a trios match for Dynamite. Sutton.
Yeah. Well, look, we could just talk about this in circles for the rest of the night. So let's move on, because I want to talk about the last match, but certainly not the least match. I personally think, and this is just my thoughts, that Bandito and Andrade El Idolo is, if I have to pick the match that has the most opportunity to be the 12-star match of the night, this is the one. Even though, in AEW at least, they have never shared a ring ever. So, this match, non-title match, and I'm gonna make my prediction right here. Andrade El Idolo is going to win, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Bandito is the Ring of Honor World Champion, and the fact that that championship is not up, it's not a title defense, tells me that Bandito is going to lose. And frankly, I think he should lose because Andrade is just one of my favorite wrestlers on the roster. I'm going to be honest with you, he really is. So, and it just happens to be going against another one of my favorite wrestlers on the roster. This match is like the creme de la creme.
This will be a 15 to 20 minute classic.
I just hope it's not the first match of the night.
Yeah,
If it is, set the tone.
I'd be fine if it is, man.
Yeah, this would be
the-
perfect for
The
curtain jerker.
opener of the big show is, I mean, basically the second most important match to the main event.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes the third if you have a semi-main event, but it's always one of the three big matches, and these guys would absolutely set the tone. And I mean, yeah, Kelsey, I think you're right. This is my prediction for the show stealer.
Yeah, that's
And
Conrad EPW show in the chat said the exact same thing just now. Sorry for
Yeah.
interrupting you, but he said
yeah,
possible show stealer. I think it's probable.
yeah,
honestly.
for sure.
Mhm.
Andrade.
And I also think you're right with Andrade winning. And, like you mentioned, Bandito is the ROH world champion. Andrade getting a victory over him. Hey, you've got a ready set main event for your next ROH pay-per-view.
Andrade's run this year in AEW, his run since, removing the period of time where there was that weirdness around his contract, this has been some of the best Andrade's been in his career in the States. And I'm with you, Kelson. Like, he's one of my favorites. And I know there's some people who don't like him, and that's fine. When he left to go back to WWE, I was like, he was the one guy that went back that I just was bummed they lost. Like, I just thought he fit
Yep.
so well with AEW.
Yeah.
And so when he came back, like, I didn't think it was going to happen, but I was so excited. And he looks like somebody who is not wasting this opportunity. His work in Mexico and everything. And I know Bandito and him are going to want to go out and put out a banger. And I think you're spot on. I think this will be a show stealer.
I mean, yeah, I was bummed when Andrade left too, because I've always been an Andrade fan. Look, he's no Danhausen, but jeez.
Don't pick on poor Danhausen.
Hey, I also want to note, he's been so good since dropping the weight. He got really bulky at the end of his AEW run, and I think that really hindered him a little bit in ring. And since dropping the weight, coming back leaner, like, he's crisper, he's faster, he still hits just as hard, he looks just as good physically. Like, he's on a heck of a run right now, man.
Danhausen?
EPW show.
Danhausen.
EPW.
That's exactly Danhausen.
EPW show just posted. He was like, I asked this the other day. Who is the best free agent signing in 2026 for AEW? And that is something, you know what? We'll cover that in the Kafabe section, which is coming up next. But does anybody else have anything more to say about Bandito and Andrade El Idolo? And I'll bring up that question for Conrad as soon as we start the next segment.
Yep, I agree with
Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm just going to say real quick that a show opener would be a perfect place for this match. What's going to get a crowd hype more than good lucha things and good selfie things?
Yeah. Tell you what. I'm looking forward to see what Andrade's harem brings to us on Revolution. And is it can it put Jess's harem? Is there a contest?
Be rivaling the Callis family in size.
They tell you what, yeah. So we're gonna move on to It's a Kafabe, and good Lord, guys.
Here we go.
I'm just being honest here. This one is. I'm almost embarrassed to put this up here. And let me give you a little bit of backstory to this. I was thinking that April Fool's Day was coming up. And wouldn't it be funny if on AEW or AllEliteWrestling.com, where they have the roster for AEW, if just for one day they changed the profile pictures of the wrestlers? What would be better than having like a picture of Hangman Adam Page with a goofy smile, right? Or something to that effect. Something completely out of character. Then I got to thinking, no, you want to do something that's actually in character. So this is my AEW graphic I did for Gabe Kidd. And
My God.
Oh, Kelson.
Oh,
I said before the show, I was like, this may be my last one because I think I may get banned by
You're
the
not going to
guy.
get banned. He's going to hunt you down.
Oh my God. Yeah. I did this late last night. I made this graphic and I thought it was freaking hysterical. I woke up this morning and looked at it and I was like, what the F were you thinking? So for those of you who are not privy to viewing this, the graphic is a picture of Gabe Kidd holding a newspaper, reading it while he's sitting naked on a toilet. With the AEW roster background implemented. I just, whatever.
It's how we roll here, Kelson. It's how we roll.
you know what? You know what? I honestly think Gabe Kidd might find it funny.
It's art.
I
Better hope he does.
Wait, so I have a question.
Yeah.
Gabe crawls like a dog. In real life, does he does he like poop like a dog? Is he like on all fours and hunched over like a shame?
Well, obviously, in my world,
Like,
he
how
sits on a
accurate is
toilet.
this picture?
He
Like,
sits
do
on
we
a
know for
toilet in my
sure?
world. I
Okay.
don't know. But anyway,
All right.
it's time for It's a Kafabe. And does anybody have an It's a Kafabe to talk about? It could have something
I
to
do.
do with Revolution, it has something to do with AEW, or it could have something to do with whatever. But I do want, you know what, Jess, before we get started with that,
Okay.
let's go back to what Conrad said and answer his question. Who is the best free agent signing in AEW for 2026? And it doesn't have to be what they've done now. I'm not. Maybe he'll clarify his question, but I'm thinking he's not only meaning what is now, but also looking toward the future. Who is great now, maybe, but who is also maybe going to be great a year from now, 5 years from now, etc. What do you guys think?
The inspiration.
The inspiration. Oh God!
Let him cook. Let him cook.
That is the most kafabe thing I've heard all night. Let them cook. Oh boy! Oh God! Hey, they were the TNA Knockout champions, right? Nothing
if
against
we're
the
talking,
inspiration.
Exactly.
Like future wise, I'm gonna go with Clark Connors. I think the dude has a ton of upside.
Interesting.
I was going to say him, either Clark Connors or David Finley.
Finley? Yeah. What about on the women's side? Because, well, you can even look at it. Let's do men and women's, because when you talk about 2026, I mean, Maya World and High End were basically signed late in 2025. So I guess you can count them, but there's
Yeah, I was like
others.
kind of go maybe like within the last 6 months would be a good
Yeah.
time frame.
Yeah, what about you, Barry? I mean, you've been kind of silent.
Well, I was letting you guys talk because I've been very chatty tonight. When was Knight and Speedball signed? Was that more than 6 months ago?
Oh, they were like in the middle of the year, I believe.
The year, okay.
2025.
In the last 6 months, I'm hard placing somebody that I'm really super stoked about the future. Like where I'm like, oh man, this person's going to be great. Maybe out of the Connors, Gabe Kidd, and Finley signings, which is recent, I need that to juice. Like I really like Gabe Kidd. I don't know enough about David Finley. I haven't watched as much of his work in New Japan, but I've seen Clark Connors both in AEW and New Japan, and I enjoy him a lot. So maybe Gabe Kidd's got the most upside out of that group, just as the people I'm familiar with. But yeah, I don't really have a pick so far yet, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say something. Out of the War Dogs, Gabe Kidd has been mentioned. Clark Connors has been mentioned. I'm really looking forward to see what David Finley has to say about it. But I'm really, really interested in seeing the Rascals and how they evolve in AEW. On the women's
I totally
side,
forgot about them, man.
on the women's side, I've said it many times before on this podcast. I really enjoy young talent and watching them evolve. And on the women's side, it's got to be Zeta Steele. I mean,
She's fun.
you know, she's only 22 years old, and when you look at the other 22-year-olds that have grown through the ranks in AEW, and especially in the women's division, like Anna Jay, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, were all of that age when they started in AEW. I would argue that Zeta Steele's better than any of them were at that age.
She's fun
Not-
to watch. She
she
brings a lot
is.
of energy, like when Harley was early, because like that was always fun about Harley. Is like, yeah, she wasn't the greatest performer, but she always looked like she really wanted to be out there. Sky Blue too. Like there's
Right.
just an energy they have, and she's got that same type. You can tell she really wants to be out there and is giving it
Right.
as hard as she can.
And you can't help but root for somebody that
Yeah, exactly.
that does
Very
that.
likable.
Yeah.
Yeah, her match with Tony Storm recently. Like, she was so good. She matched Tony Storm's energy right at that entrance. And it was like, okay, this ain't someone who's like shying away. This is like
Right.
star
Yeah.
potential.
Yeah,
Right.
it'll be fun to see how she develops. Can she take those steps? She's
Right.
got the charisma.
Well, I hope that we answered Conrad's question. Appreciate the question, Conrad. Jess, you had something to say. Go for it.
Let the
You
inspiration
said you had a
cook.
kafabi.
Can you hear
Well,
me?
you said you had a kafabi. Yes.
Okay.
But you said you had a kafabi. You said you had a kafabi.
I did. It's a kafabe. I've got one. My AEW is up and running. It seems to be AEW's answer to the old WWE network, which is great. What's not so great is that you need a VPN to subscribe because it's for international customers because of the deal that AEW has with HBO Max. But if you have a VPN, anybody can watch the free option, which is basically they're going to have podcasts, and they have like a continuous free stream of back episodes. But the $20 tier will pretty much the $20 tier will pretty much get you like the most WWE networky experience, which is like with the monthly pay-per-views, the back catalog, Honor Club included. So if you don't live in the US or Canada, or if you have a VPN that says you don't, you might want to consider that to save yourself some money on pay-per-views.
Nord got VPNs last Fightful.
Yes, exactly. You know what? You know what? What they announced this yesterday. Somebody made a comment on the Clash of the Podcast, the Everything Pro Wrestling podcast on their channel, saying, are you guys going to get on there? And I think Conrad answered, we wish. So the question is, would AEW Fan Hub's Ignition ever go on there? I mean, so like if Tony Khan is watching this right now, looking at the graphic of Gabe Kidd that we put up there and hearing us talking, there is no possible way that we will ever be on the podcast section
I don't know,
of
Kelson.
myaew.com.
We could argue that we have limited experience working in the business because of the stuff we did for that failed promotional effort we just did a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago.
Oh, the TJ,
The TJPW thing.
Tokyo Story.
Tony, we've been, we worked in the business.
Well, that's that wasn't our fault. That was not, and I want to stress that this was not, since people don't, that are listening probably don't know about it, I do want to bring it up. We had Tokyo Story, the promoters of the Texas Stampede event that is 4 night events happening in March next week. I think March 17th through the 22nd in Austin, Dallas, and Houston, Texas, featuring TJPW. Just the Inspiration will be there as well. But the point I'm making is that they asked to do an AMA with us. We set up a podcast, a recording time and everything. They also we're supposed to do an AMA with another subreddit on Reddit, and they ghosted that subreddit the day before they were supposed to do the podcast with us, they ghosted us when we were doing the podcast. We were here waiting for them prepared, and they ghosted us. I do want to stress that this has nothing at all to do with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, TJPW. This has everything to do with the promoters, Tokyo Story, that were doing that were the organizers of this event, the Texas Stampede event. So TJPW, still love you. Very entertaining. I wish you very best. I just hope the Tokyo Story doesn't make any money off of it. There you go. Anybody else with it? It's a kafabe.
One more little thing.
Sure.
Sorry, just does anybody else want to go before I go twice?
Well, I'll go. Did any of you see the Pro Wrestling Eve Wrestle Queendom 8 on Sunday?
Nope.
Is this on?
Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't able to watch it.
Well, there were a lot of AEW talent there. I mean, we had Willow Nightingale there. Chris Statlander was there. Harley Cameron was there. Oh my God, Harley Cameron was there with Amira Blair. If you have an opportunity to go see this 16-star match between Harley Cameron and Amira Blair, just I have never seen anything like it, because it was just vulgar. It was just a vulgar match. They sang, they danced, they wrestled a tiny bit, and then they sang and they danced, and Harley brought out Mini Harley for the first time. We had the Harley Cameron puppet. But yeah, I mean, there was just Jamie Hayter was there. Alex Windsor beats Shuri for the NJPW Strong Women's Championship. I mean, it was a really, really, really fun show. Chris Statlander faced Dakota Kai, now going by the name of Charlie. And one of the questions when Dakota Kai was released was, should AEW sign Dakota Kai? And a lot of people were saying no. Based on what I saw on Sunday, hell yes, they need to sign Dakota Kai. That woman was fun to watch. That's all I'll say about it. If you get a chance, go look up. I'm sure you can find it somewhere, especially on the Pro Wrestling Eve YouTube channel. Dakota Kai and Chris Statlander's match. It was just a fun match. And Chris Statlander did win. She retained her Eve International Championship. But she had to, well, Sunday morning fever, I guess, or Sunday afternoon fever, Dakota Kai three consecutive times in order to pin her. It was just a good match. It was really fun. All right, I'm done with That's my Kafabi. Jess, you had another one?
Yep, just to bring it back to Revolution for one little bit, I think we all forgot something. Namely, that there's something that's been teased for quite a while that is very likely to happen at Revolution. Namely, the return of my other beloved, Will Ospreay. What capacity do you think?
I really don't think that's happening.
You don't think it's
I
happening?
think they're going to say that for Double or Nothing. I don't.
Aw.
Well, let me ask you this, Jess. Where if it happens, where would it happen? What match, other than him just coming out and saying, "Hi, it's me. Good to be back. I'll see you in a couple of months." Other than that, what match on this card do you think Will Ospreay fits in?
I think he comes out between matches. I think he comes out of a giant coffin preceded by a gaggle of girls dressed as assassins from Assassin's Creed.
If I'm booking this, I have him as one of Andrade's camera girls for the selfie.
So you would put him in a mini skirt, a low cut.
Yeah,
dress?
he's just sitting with them and he poses for a selfie, and that's how I book his return.
I don't think Andrade likes curly haired women with golden
Could come
retriever
out.
energy.
I don't know. Will is
Hey,
dreaming
we don't know.
about
We don't know
maybe
what you like.
That's true. But he seems to
Maybe
like
he just wants a
he seems
picture
to
with
like
the handsome Carrot Top kid.
everyone that he's done a selfie with so far have been, dark haired,
What?
specific
Maybe he's
look.
just a big fan. It doesn't need to be sexual. He's like, hey, that's Will Ospreay. I want a selfie with this guy. Maybe that's how.
Yeah, man.
There
Yeah,
you
man.
go.
It's the best wrestler in the
Or
world.
maybe Will
Who wouldn't want
Ospreay is a big fan of Andrade.
Yeah, there you go. Will ask for the selfie.
I
Yeah,
think if he comes out at all for any match, it's going to be at the end of this Strickland match. Maybe confront Strickland about what Swerve, why he's being the way he is, something like that. But I agree with Kelson. I don't think he's coming anytime soon.
And then Strickland turns him heel. We had yet the
No. You
another
ain't turning.
heel to
The
the
final piece of the embassy. There you
Okay,
go.
I'm gonna toss.
You
I'm gonna
can't
toss
turn
out
him
a
heel.
crazy idea. I'm gonna toss out a crazy idea for how he could return after a match. Whatever the result of FTR versus the Young Bucks, FTR attacks them, is beating the crap out of them, and Osprey comes out to save them because he's seen the change they made and they're good.
That is just like him.
I-
He would do that.
I don't think.
Yeah,
Logan's back.
I think he comes out and he just beats the crap out of Tekla and gets it over with. That's it.
You think his debut is beating up Tekla? That's bold.
Well, at Revolution, it just
That's-
doesn't make any sense to have him. When I say, other than him coming out in between matches and waving to the crowd and saying, "I'm back and I'll see you on at Double or Nothing or in 2 weeks at Dynamite. I'm going to face John Cruz in a I don't know, Texas Death Match or something. I don't know."
if I'm booking his return, he's the mystery entrant to the Owen. And you just keep doing the promos and the video packages, because if God forbid he isn't ready, then you just plug somebody else in there. But if he
Right.
is, he's the guy, and then you run it up to Alden and you finally give him the crown.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see him coming back Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, he could. I don't know. I really don't. Anybody else with a Kafabe?
Yeah, I have the standard New Japan roundup stuff, but I'll let anyone
Before
else
you do
go
that,
first.
hey, everybody
Yeah.
out in Tornado Alley, be safe tonight. Big tornado outbreak all across Tornado Alley through the long evening and the early morning hours. So be safe, folks. That's my
Yeah,
Kafabe.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm not gonna say it about the dangers of lightning. I'm not gonna say it. Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, New Japan roundup. New Japan Cup is going strong. First round has finished. The first two second round matches happened earlier today. It's like 4:30 in the morning for me, so I didn't watch it live. But Bad Luck Fale versus Shingo Takagi. I'm not going to give any spoilers. And the main event, Driller Maloney versus Yuya Uemura. And this one, Kono Shiaiwa Yabemashita. And if you don't speak Japanese, this match was awesome.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. I did want to bring up once again our Discord server. It's up on the screen. I also wanted to encourage you to go to EPW at EPW Show on YouTube tomorrow night, right after Dynamite is over. They'll be doing their Dynamite review show. They are also on the Discord. The Everything Pro Wrestling podcast is tomorrow night after Dynamite, and you can listen to Everything Pro Wrestling podcast on Monday nights as well at 6:05, I think it is, Eastern Time. And of course, our Discord, Everything Pro Wrestling Hub Discord, which is a joint effort between AEW Fan Hub and Everything Pro Wrestling Podcast. We have a lot of fun over there. We really do. Really good group of people. And if you haven't joined the Discord, it's discord.gg/EPW Hub. And that's it. We will be back Tuesday night at 8:45 Eastern Time for another episode of Ignition, where I'm sure we'll be talking about the fallout from AEW Revolution and any other kind of news that may be happening in AEW land. If there's anything that you want us to talk about, just let us know on the AEW Fan Hub subreddit or on the Everything Pro Wrestling Hub Discord. You can follow us on practically any social media platform that you're on. You can find AEW Fan Hub. Just search for AEW Fan Hub, and you will be able to interact with us there. We're pretty good about, responding to people. So that's the
Yeah, and
important
if you
thing.
say our name 3 times, Kelson shows up to rub your feet. Little benefit.
He brings Eddie Kingston along with him.
Membership has its privileges, gang.
I'll rub something, but
There it is.
Whoa, hey there.
I'm not a feet person. I've never had a foot fetish.
I don't get it either. It's weird.
Yeah,
I just meant like from a non-sexual massage, like your feet hurt.
Yeah,
kind of
Kelson,
thing.
not
But,
everything is sexual.
Yeah, Kelson. Jeez.
That's poppycock. Ooh,
Jeez.
poppycock.
Oh my God, it's like working with children.
Where are we going with this?
I have no idea, but I like it. Well, I need
right.
to leave.
Good night, Eddie Kingston.
Good night, Eddie Kingston.
Good night, Eddie Kingston.
Matane.
Good night, inspiration.
Oh my God.